Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Be Healthy and Thrive podcast. My name is Brianna Wilkerson from Made Well. I am a holistic health and life coach and essential oils advocate, really on a mission to help empower people in every area of their health and their life. And so I am so excited to talk to you today about the Whole30, the thing that really changed my health and life forever. And what I'm going to do is just kind of tell you about my story pre-Whole30, then what happened with the Whole30, and then after, what has really changed. And then the 7 different areas of physical health that I talk about, but how Whole30 really helped shifted my physical health in those 7 areas. And that's kind of why my Whole30 Made Easy program, which I'm going to share more about at the end, focuses on those 7 different areas. And so let's just dive in. So the Whole30, what is it, first of all? Basically, it's an elimination diet, very similar to the paleo diet, that is where you eliminate certain foods that have been known to be problematic for some people. And you do that for 30 days, and then you incorporate it back into one at a time to see how the food has impacted you. So the full Whole30, there's about 6 different resets. So if the full Whole30 is intimidating, there's other ones. There is the energy craving buster. There is energy and craving buster, autoimmune, an anti-inflammatory one, vegan, and then the basic one, and then the full one, right? And so the full Whole30 is you eliminate legumes, any form of sugar, even honey and maple syrup. On paleo, you can have those things, but on Whole30, you can't. You eliminate dairy. You eliminate grains. You eliminate grains, both gluten and non-gluten, sugar, and then processed food. And you're trying to get rid of preservatives, right? And that seems intimidating, but it can be really life-changing. And so I'll kind of a little bit about my story. I'm going to truncate it, but I was kind of overweight as a child and in high school, and it wasn't a big deal to me, but when I started doing sports, I started just slowly changing my eating and changing my nutrition habits, lost a lot of weight, got really affirmed in that. And so I thought, hey, in order for me to be affirmed, I need to be smaller and all these different things. And high school is a time where you're really developing your identity. So it's very easy for you to take something that is just meant to be sweet and twisted. Anyways, Hurricane Ivan came, which is a hurricane that really changed the island. And there's a lot of changes. My friends went away for school. We were staying with my grandparents for a while. We were in a different school for a while. And how I dealt with change was really focused on my studying and ate less and exercised more. And I became a little bit depressed because of it. Just there was so many changes and I wasn't dealing with it in a really healthy way. People started to notice that I was too small. I was too small for my body structure. Came to a point where people were like, Brandon, do you want to talk to someone? I was upset because I'm like, first I'm too skinny, then I'm too big, whatever. But when I did speak to a nutritionist that was visiting the school, I started crying and I was like, why am I crying to this nutritionist? And the reality is it wasn't about the food, right? It was about the change, the lack of control, all these different things. And I gained some weight, but I never dealt with the issue. And so come fast forward later, about to graduate and up to be valedictorian, felt the pressure of being valedictorian. I went to Food for Comfort. It's what helped me in a very stressful time. But with that, I gained back all the weight. And with that, I gained back shame and a lot of guilt. And so from that point on, I was very yo-yo. One minute I had a handle of it, and next minute I didn't, because again, food was comfort. I was running to it when things were going on. Fast forward to college, still really battled with it. Still went to the vending machine for all these big Texases or whatever when I was stressed. And it wasn't until I joined a varsity Christian fellowship and really started to look at who Jesus was and what the love of God really meant for my life that changed me. And I started to know my worth and my value was in God. And because of Jesus and his work on the cross, I never had to feel shame again. And I started this healing process. It wasn't like, boom, changed. I know some people it's like that, but it took some time. Started to really lead and help other women know their worth, and really started to take up leadership and saw my value and purpose outside of what I did and how I looked, right? Moved back, got married, met my husband through this. He's awesome. He's actually works full-time for this ministry here in Cayman. And I think he was away at a training actually. And I went over to my family's and I was looking through some of my old books, and it was this First Place for Health stuff that was a Christian weight loss health thing that was all about holistic, really loving God with your mind, body, soul, and strength, physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional. And I really felt God saying to me, it's time. It's time to just take care of your physical body. It is my temple, yes, but it the way you're treating your body has a lot to say about how you view your life and how you view yourself. And I really felt that he wanted me to be made well. And so that's why Made Well is called Made Well. It's actually based off of John 5:5. You can look it up. But basically, Jesus asks the man who's been invalid for 38 years, do you want to be made well? And I felt like that was his question to me. So I went on this journey of slowly changing my eating and enjoying it, enjoying just walking, enjoying the way I was taking care of myself that wasn't completely out of shame or guilt. It was out of love. And I think that's why it stuck. And I remember friends asking me, what do you want to do with this? And I said, I want to take care of myself first, and then maybe I can help others. But when I did the Whole30, that's when things changed. So fast forward, I don't know. About 3 or 4 months before I did the Whole30, I joined CrossFit, came in. And most CrossFits teach for the nutrition part paleo, which is very similar to Whole30. But you can have like a little bit of honey and maple syrup, not too much though. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to try it, see if it works. I joined a challenge that the gym was doing, a paleo challenge, and I lost 4 pounds. And at that point, I wasn't really trying to lose, but I noticed that I was a lot leaner, and my workout that I did improved by like 3 minutes, cut down the time. So I won the challenge that time, but it was because it was a great change. And so I was like, I noticed I didn't have gas. I noticed that I had more energy. So then I just started to slowly actually adopt a paleo lifestyle and found that it works better for my body. And then I did the Whole30 with my friend Nikki. And on the Whole30, all the 7 different areas that I really talk about, I experienced extreme transformation. I understood that for 30 days, I was saying no to foods that had, whether I went to them for comfort or whatever, that I had control of what I ate, that I didn't have to be a victim any longer. And that this way of eating worked really well for my body. I never felt deprived. I actually felt really empowered. And it was from that experience of the Whole30 that I said, I need to do something and help others in some way. So I started a blog a few months later, called it Made Well, madewell345.com. And then I eventually signed up for a holistic health coaching certification. And as I started seeing clients, I was like, this is what I'm meant to do. I'm meant to be a coach, not just in health, because physical health, because it starts there, but it doesn't end there. Even with me and all my clients, other things come up and we work on those things because they're important. And eventually I went full-time, and I've been full-time for about a year and a few months. But every single time someone says, I really want help with nutrition, exercise, stress, and I really need help with my physical health, I will always point. We can do gradual changes, which I do with people if they're not ready for something like the Whole30. It's all about slowly changing your mind and your habits. But I always point people to the Whole30 because I have taken the time over the last couple of years to really put everything together around physical health that I believe can transform your health and life in the Whole30 Made Easy program. And so there are 7 different pillars that I cover in that, and the pillars of health. And it's nutrition, exercise, stress, sleep, digestion, toxic load or natural solutions, and mindset and habits. And I believe in you really work on those 7 different areas. You're going to have a healthy body, but you're going to have a healthy life. And really, we do need to start with our physical health when we're talking about our health and well-being. We only have one body. If our body is not functioning the way it should, you can't do your career well. You can't manage your finances well. You can't show up well for relationships. So it is super important. Let's not worship it, but it's super important. And so basically, I'm going to tell you a little bit the 7 different areas and my story with it. And then I'm going to talk about the Whole30 Made Easy program and talk about how you can join it. And then over the rest of the month, you're going to hear episodes with testimonies of women I have worked with in the Whole30. I've worked with men too, but I couldn't include everybody on it. So nutrition. My way of eating is completely different. And my way of eating now, I eat Whole30 like 6 days out of the week. And one day I have a treat. But I've done the Whole30 7 to 8 times, like the 30 days. And every time I do it, I learn something new about my body. And my body tells me what it really wants and doesn't want. So last time in January, I did the Whole30 with the group I went through. And I'm an essential oils advocate, and they have a cleanse and restore kit, a 30-day kit as well, doTERRA. And so I did both together. It was a lot of pills, but I felt awesome. And it definitely was towards the end. I felt leaner. I felt like I was going better in workouts, all these different things. But really, after doing it this time, I recognize my body's just like, you cannot have a lot of this food ever. I can't have a lot of gluten. My body, before it would just get gassy. Now it does other things. I just can't. It's become really not good for me. Fried foods, like really deep fried foods, even in healthy oil, my body can't take anymore. And that wasn't the case even before the 6th, 7th time. And so I have come to a point where some foods may taste really good and I know that I could have it and then I'll be upset for a little bit. But I've come to a point where now I know what foods do my body really well and do my body really good. And I ask myself, am I willing for this food to do my body really bad? Like, am I okay with the consequences? And if I am okay, if not, I'm not going to. So I'm empowered and I actually choose how my body responds because I know I learn each time what's best for it. Because what works for you is not going to be what works for me and vice versa. But you need to find out what does work and what is a way of eating that you can be healthy and thrive for the rest of your life. So nutrition. Now, exercise. Every time I do the Whole30, and whether it's on the Whole30 or after, I always perform better. I recover faster after long runs or heavy weights or intense workouts. I move quicker. I just have more energy and in general, but especially when working out. And don't we want that? If you're someone that enjoys sports or wants to exercise and not feel like it's in the world, like how you eat will impact your exercise. And then the next thing is stress. Your body responds to stress, mental and physical stress, the same way. It goes into this fight or flight response. And some food can cause tons of stress on your body, and you don't even know it. Your body has to work overtime to try to deal with it. And we can go into the details of what happens when you eat certain foods and how it breaks down. But basically, what you eat can impact your stress. And it can reduce your stress. Many people have done the Whole30 and feel like they handle stress a lot better. And then sleep. They sleep better. I sleep better when I'm eating better because my body is able to use the right resources and then to go into this digestive, restorative state easier. I always sleep better when I'm eating better and doing the Whole30 or eating Whole30 like throughout the week. And then digestion. So 60 to 80% of your immune system is in your gut. So what you eat will either make you really healthy or make you really sick, basically. And serotonin is a lot of it's made in your gut, and that's your happy hormone, right? And so really, what you eat impacts. And so many people struggle with different digestive, whether it's gas, acid reflux, diarrhea, Crohn's, all these things that we have a lot of issues in our gut, and that's because we're eating a lot of things that our gut's not made to digest. And the bad bacteria is feeding, the good bacteria doesn't even be able to thrive. And Whole30 will change your digestive tract. It's changed mine. Digestion is super important to me. And every time I eat clean, whole processed, non-processed foods, my digestive tract's better and I'm better. Toxic solutions. On the Whole30, I just started to learn a lot about not just what we eat and what we put on our body and smell. That's just as important. Our skin is our biggest organ. So I just started to switch slowly what I use. So I started to use coconut oil on my skin and my hair. And now, especially with doTERRA, I've replaced all of my cleaning and skin stuff that are either just doTERRA essential oils or doTERRA wellness products. And I'm not saying those are the only ones you can use, but what I'm trying to say is that what I put on my skin has now impacted everything, and what I smell. And I learned that first on the Whole30. And obviously, because I'm an essential oils advocate, if that is something you want to learn, even while on the Whole30, we could talk about that. And then the last is your mindset and habits. As I said, on the Whole30, just based through different, exercises and experiences, I learned that I was in control. And I could shift my habits by shifting my mind around food, around health, around wellness. And so that is definitely one of the pillars that I do. And so really, what then is the Whole30 made easy? Like if you're like, I want to do the Whole30, and you're like kind of like, where do I get started? Typically in the past, I've ran it either as one-on-one, like anyone can, if I have capacity and they want to do it one-on-one, or I've run it as a 6-week program as a group, kind of like live with it. But this, I'm going to try out something new for the next few months, is that really, if you want to do this program, I have this Whole30 Made Easy program with all the trainings available, all the resources available. And I'm going to have an ongoing Whole30 group that literally you can join at any time and do the Whole30 at any time. Like, you don't have to wait until, because a lot of people, what I found is like, oh, I'll just do it the next time you run the program. And I'm like, no, if you want to do it now. But maybe they couldn't afford one-on-one. Maybe they wanted some sort of group support. So there will be different options, and you could check out the link, madewell345.com/Whole30 Made Easy. 30 is 30, by the way. And all this will be in the podcast links. But it's going to be a self-paced option where maybe you just want to buy the program and watch the videos at your own pace, go through it, and then you use the Facebook group for support, to ask questions and ask for feedback, ask for encouragement. And I will be going live sometime in the groups and answering questions in real time and so forth. Or maybe you want to do it self-paced, but with a call or two with me, well, then that's an option as well. And so I've kind of formatted it differently. I'm going to test it out, see how it works. And I'm just going to test something new. I want to serve people better. So that's an option. So let me go through what is the Whole30 Made Easy. Basically, it's the Whole30, but I've just created a specific program around it that covers those different areas. And so it's a 6-week program. You can do it again over time, because the first 2 weeks, I'll kind of talk about the first 2 weeks. The first 2 weeks are the material. One is a preparation week. Like, what do you need to do to prepare for the Whole30? And if you are going to get the course and then you're like, I want to start it a month from now, but it's going to take me a month to prepare, that's okay. Take as long as you need. It is a commitment to do it 30 days straight, right? But then you'll have all the resources that you need. And in the preparation material, there's a Cleanse and Detox with Whole30 webinar or masterclass that I have for sale that I'm just including in there, where you get to really understand what it is, how to do it, how to prepare, what are the 6 different types of resets and which one you can choose. Then there's some resource guides such as program rules, shopping list, common additives, cheat sheet, some recipes that I've put together for you, uncovering your mindset, training around your mindset around food if you want to get your mind ready. I've done tons of blog posts on Whole30. Like one of the Whole30s I did, wrote a blog post a day. So that I have the links to that available for you. Different trainings on if you want just like a meal plan system that plans out your Whole30 meals for you and your ingredients. There's a great app called Real Plans that could do that for you. And I recommend it. So I think it's $30 your first month when you're adding the Whole30, then it's $15 after that. Like, it's worth it, but you can test it out to see if you like it or not. There's a fitness plan in there. There's some stuff on essential oils. So that's the preparation. And then basically from there is different themes, and it covers all these 7 areas. Week 2 is about nutrition and exercise. So you'll see stuff there such as the Whole30's good food standards, why we're taking away certain foods and adding foods in, how to meal plan, Whole30 approved products, some more on exercise and creating your own exercise plan. And then for each of these modules, you will find bonus essential oil trainings. Now, you don't have to go through those, but they're there for you when you want to say, okay, how can essential oils help me in nutrition, in exercise, and stress and sleep? And then, of course, you have me to reach out to about that. Week 3, I talk about stress and sleep, the impact of stress and lack of sleep on the body, and then oils around that. Week 4 is digestion and toxic load. Talk a lot about digestion and gut health. And then there's a mid-Whole30 check-in. So if you were going to do it 6 weeks straight, like, check-in. How's it going? How do you spice some things up? Here's how you may be feeling. And there's even a daily timeline, like you might feel this on day 1 and day 2. And then there's some bonus essential oil stuff around digestion and toxic load. Week 5 is mindset, habits, and other areas of your health and your life. And we want to learn to start celebrating our victories, non-scale victories as well as scale victories, because it's about changing your health and life, not just your weight. because you can change your weight and still be unhealthy. Let's just say that. And then week 6 is all about reintroduction after the Whole30, like celebrating your successes and your stages of change and feedback, deciding whether you want to continue after 30 days or not. And so it's really kind of, if you want to even just watch all of this before you do the Whole30, you can too. I'm going to make it available. You can just kind of see it all. And then again, there will be a private Facebook group for anyone who does the program, who has or even has done it in the past with me. But again, if you want some one-on-one support, you could get the package that's scheduled that has a one-on-one call or 2 one-on-one calls. And it's just going to be an ongoing space. So even when you're done the Whole30, but you want to live the Whole30 lifestyle after, like that is something that I do, right? I'm living this Whole30 lifestyle after every day, and you want support in that, that's available to you. So if you are ready to transform your health and your life, it's time. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. And let this be the year that your physical health is transformed forever. Because maybe that's where you need to start. And then you're like, then I can deal with my finances, Brianna. Then I can do this. Then I want to make it as easy as possible for you to enter in and those that you care to enter in. So go and check out madewell345.com/whole30 made easy and let me know if it is something that you have questions around. You can book a discovery call, but there are different levels of the program that you can really join in. So I'm so glad that you are here. And again, you can start anytime, right? And this month in particular, I'm going to be going through it and really sharing a lot more why it's so important. If this is the month for you, great. If not, that's okay. But just know you can get the material and go through at your own pace. So you might take a month to do the preparation phase and you do it. But then you're like, after that, I want to look at my exercise. All of these modules, you're going to be going through all of them like the rest of your life. It's not like you master every one. You just kind of listen and you take it. Okay, and now I'm going to apply this. Now I'm going to apply this. So stay tuned for more this month with some testimonials around the Whole30 and the different elimination diets with women I've worked with, as well as I'm going to probably be putting some bonus essential oils around, talking about some around the physical health and cleansing the body as well. It's kind of spring, so spring cleanse sort of thing. Thanks so much for listening. I'm grateful for you, and I hope that this has blessed you. Go check out the Whole30 program I have, and let me know if you have any questions. All right, bye.